You started
3,
with the
2. Yeah, I wasn't where you were gonna do a countdown, so.
I was gonna be funny and do a countdown, so I guess it's my fault for not explaining that. Welcome back to a couple of dudes. This is my co-host Sam.
My co-host David.
And we are always a couple of dudes.
What if we were a few?
A few dudes?
A few dudes.
Then we would have to change the name.
Mm.
And our other co-host and our other co-host. What if we're several dudes?
Several
co-hosts. Another co-host. We're just a meeting table of co-hosts. I watch
Several
those.
dudes. The Several Dudes podcast.
Hey, I think it would work. It just have to be really long because everybody's starting to get their opinions in. But it'll work. You can do smoke circle style.
Oh, right, yeah.
The
Blunt
person with
rotation for speaking.
Well, of course, I mean, I'd set out the whole time, but I can be the cameraman, spin around in a circle.
I'm sure we can set up something where we can get the camera to just constantly spin around.
If it's constantly spinning around, we can get
we'll have a wire. Whoever has the wire attached to the camera, so it'll get pulled as it goes around the circle. And that'll be like the blunt, the talking wire.
Oh, the talking wire.
The camera must be facing you if you are.
And so now it is PG-13. We can wrap it up around all those like little beach balls.
What?
It's a counseling thing, you get like a beach ball, you put a feeling on each color, and then so you would pass it to the person next to you, and whatever color lands in their palm, that's what feeling they have to share about it.
It's so stupid.
Well, it's for little kids.
Yeah, little kids are dumb.
Well, that's rude.
It's true though, their brains are underdeveloped. It's not their fault. It's not objectively wrong for me to say that.
Yeah, it's not objectively wrong for you to say a lot of things, but you still get criticized for it anyway.
That is true.
We're in the new society, where underdevelopment means developed.
Right. The Civil War wasn't fought over slaves. The South just wanted to keep their freedoms. That's all.
So what have you done in the past couple of days?
I got a haircut. Feels weird. I stepped right outside after the barbershop and the wind hit me. And so nothing blowing felt so wrong. My head felt naked. And now it just is.
It's just not. It's still a lot of hair up there, bro. Still got a lot going on.
But I used to have a lot more. And I liked it. But it happens.
It happens, guys. You got a haircut.
Haircuts.
Give him a round of applause for a haircut, though, because I'm pretty sure he's stubborn about that stuff.
I mean, I get them when I want them. Except this time.
Were you forced to for the dance?
Yep.
The big dance? Mm-hmm. That wasn't really much of a dance.
The 2 slow songs. And then the other 3 hours of just hardcore
The
dancing.
fanciest club. The fanciest nightclub you'll ever see. No stone walls, no flashing floors, no. Carpets, fancy tables, and one little DJ booth with some spinning lights.
It was interesting though.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Seen a lot of shoeless people.
Who's gonna dance in high heels?
Just letting the dogs hang out.
You got to.
Angela just wore a Converse.
I asked how your how was your weekend? Last weekend?
I don't know what I did. I don't know what happened, but it was probably good. I had my last day of school.
My boy graduated. Round of applause for that, too.
Technically, I don't graduate until the 4th, but...
But you're not legally obligated to go back, correct?
Right. Yeah. The seniors had their last day.
So
on
then
Thursday.
you technically graduated.
Yeah, technically.
And then you also technically didn't because you don't.
I didn't walk yet. But
A lot of people don't walk.
yeah,
man.
I know. I was about to say I don't have to walk to graduate.
People usually have to, not everybody gets the ability to walk.
Yeah.
So
Some people can't get a cap and gown. Bro, ours are so ugly.
are they like brown?
Brown and yellow. Poop and pee. You kidding me, bro?
I got a standard black. It was red or black, and I didn't want red because my sister got red. I want to be different.
We got brown and yellow.
It's unique.
Uniquely awful.
I like Centrals. They had purple. I wanted purple. I was like, I want a purple cap and
What
gown.
are they? Purple and gold? Purple and
I
yellow?
don't know. I just know it's purple.
Mainly purple.
I think it might be like purple and black. I watched Dungeons and Dragons.
What'd you think?
It was a pretty good movie. It's
Yeah.
pretty funny.
I quite enjoyed it.
Although I didn't really get Dungeons and Dragon vibes from it, just a fantasy movie.
Did you pirate it?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I never do such a crime in my life.
Right. Like with Shazam 2.
I paid for the tickets.
Right.
I'm just kidding. I bought the DVD, guys. Digital copy though, so I can't show you the physical copy, of course. But it's okay because I paid for it, right?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I actually paid for mine.
I actually paid for mine too.
Mm-hmm.
$20.
Yeah.
$19.99 actually.
Yeah, you paid for Wi-Fi.
It's $19.99 plus tax, so technically I don't have the exact number on the top of my head, but
So what do you mean it didn't give you Dungeons and Dragons vibes?
I don't know. For some reason, I was expecting it to be like a group of people. They go sit down at like somebody's house. I'm like, all right, guys, you ready to play? And
I
then
thought it was gonna be like
something
the Lego
happens.
movie, but like did you think there was gonna be a twist at the end where it's like a bunch of people playing a board game?
Well, I was
Whatever.
expecting the beginning to kind of open up where they kind of go down like Jumanji style. Like they're just going to go play a regular fun game and then they get sucked into the game.
That's just Jumanji, but Dungeons and Dragons.
That's what a lot of games are. If you put them into a movie, that's how it could be. That's what I was thinking. I wasn't...
Well, it's an adaptation, not a real life people get sucked into game.
And there was no dice rolling. So how am I supposed
Well,
to
I
know?
mean, they kind of did some of it. Like, they didn't obviously actually do dice rolling, but like how they had that good plan with the painting, how it had the portal in it, and then it just fell over, and so they couldn't use it. Like, that was like a bad roll, Like, multiple times their plans would fail. Or they would get really lucky, like at the beginning when they got pardoned, but they're stupid and jumped anyway.
I like how at the end he tried doing the sad story too, and it just didn't work. They're like, denied, and then he grabbed the bird, tried jumping. It didn't work. Fell twice.
What do you think of the fat dragon?
That was kind of funny. That dragon was thirsty, bro. He's trying to get that food. I like how he was rolling around. Just rolling to eat.
It's like a fat little chihuahua.
I'm trying to think of what my favorite part of the movie was.
I like the bit where they all beat up the witch.
The old crookedy old witch. The Thalen.
Bald. Fucking.
The Red Witch.
Yep.
No, but it was a good movie. I watched plenty of movies last night. Binged a bunch of them.
I went to my friend's last night. We didn't do D&D, but we just hung out. Played some fun games. I don't remember what one was called, but it's like we all had to, it was a drawing game. We had to write a sentence and then someone would have to draw that sentence and then you would get that picture, and you would have to write a picture for that sentence. Or no, you'd have to write a sentence for that picture, and then someone would have to draw that sentence. And so it was like this big, long, funny chain. And, you know, we're all horribly offensive. So it was fun.
I'm sure it was.
Oh, my friend had a beat maker on his laptop, so we made some terrible beats.
Some fire beats. Producers. Producers in the making. You can be the next person that shouts your tag in the beginning of the song.
What?
Yeah, that.
Cough?
You know how people usually like say their name while the beat's starting out for a song? Like they just shout it out there as an ad-lib or something.
I guess sometimes.
You can be one of those guys. So everybody knows whose beat is yours.
No. Well,
And
we
then-
didn't do any singing or anything.
You don't sing, you just say like your thing before the beat. Like while the first few seconds of the beat plays, you shout your tag in there, and then the beat continues on, and then the artist that buys the beat will sing over the beat, and then when they produce it, everybody be like, oh, that must be the producer. He said his name really loud.
Alright. My name is Boner Beat.
You shout out.
Boner Beat. Getting Mike.
Yeah, just like that. Just before, I love you. Chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss.
I watched a movie that seemed like it'd be a Disney movie, but it wasn't or not even a Disney movie, like a Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon style movie, which is roughly like the same thing, but they do it a little different. It was like this ghost movie. I was just criticizing it for its
Suckiness.
childish plot while also not being childish. Remember the Haunted Hathaways?
That sounds really familiar, but I don't.
It kind of reminded me of that.
Was that a Nickelodeon show?
Mm-hmm. I almost watched that too after the movie.
That's what it reminded you of?
Because the family moved into a house with a ghost, and the child, one of the children, walked up the stairs, and the ghost came out to scare him. He just stood there and started laughing. And I'm like, that's your reaction to see a ghost?
What did the ghost look like?
It was just really bad. It was just like, like they didn't even, this is my first criticism, was the ghost didn't look like a ghost would in real life. Right? A ghost would usually be like a cloudy, loomy figure that just kind of stares over you and it looks really spooky. This was just a guy with like a green transparent filter through him. And every time he moved, like there was like a little glowy shimmer. And that was the ghost. A transparent green, shimmery figure.
Was it an old movie or?
No. 2023. I mean, it wasn't a bad movie, but I was just criticizing all the little things about it. I was like, first of all, anybody that sees a ghost, even if they weren't afraid of the ghost, it should not look like that. It should look terrifying. But anyways, he recorded the ghost on camera, of the ghost trying to scare him and him
the
laughing
ghost
at
just
it.
stood there and
The ghost eventually just turned around and walked through the wall.
he just walked away.
He just left.
Boring.
And so his brother found his phone, showed his dad, and they're like, we're going to get famous. So they posted it on YouTube. It blew up. Then everybody on TikTok's like, we love him. We love this ghost. And then they all started swarming their house to see the ghost.
Does the ghost get popular? Does it like start interacting with fans
Oh.
in the family?
It interacts with the whole family. But he can't talk. But they're trying to figure out the ghosts, like what happened to the ghost, how it died, so he can get sent free to the other side.
But then they can't have content.
Well, that's the dad's problem. The son wants to free the ghost. He didn't even want him to go viral in the first place. But the CIA gets involved because there's paranormal activities afoot.
The CIA.
The CIA.
I feel like they would just assume the video was fake on the internet.
They did at first. Till this paranormal TV show went on there, and she was like, "Man, I forgot what she said. She said like." She made some stupid remark like, I seen better from some other famous person. Then the ghost shoved a demon hand out of her and choked her. and then melted his face off in front of her, and she freaked out and jumped out of a window.
It melted his face off.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
And then like its skin roll off and its eyeballs pop out. And its jaw dropped, and then it started melting. And so she jumped out of a window, and so the CIA got involved.
Was it like a second story window?
No, it was the first story. It would have been funnier.
Yeah, it would have been.
But yeah, towards the end of the movie, they find out that he was murdered. Dun dun dun. Which I guessed.
How was he murdered?
By an old friend. See, there's one guy, Ernest, with his
Oh my God! Ernest goes to jail. Ernest murders his friend.
By the way,
why
they
he
called the
went to
ghost
jail?
Ernest because he's wearing a shirt that says Ernest. But he didn't know who he was at first. He had no memories of anything. So that's what this little boy's job was to do. Was he wanted to help this ghost figure out who he was. His name's Randy. So Ernest is with his wife, but his wife has a sister who is dating Ernest. Well, Randy. So Randy and his wife have a kid, but Ernest's wife, who is sister of the other wife, cannot have a kid. So when this wife dies, she says, "Oh, this is my chance. I can swoop in and take the kid." So she picks up the kid, goes up the stairs, and Ernest kills Randy.
Oh.
And then, since he got the blood splattered on his shirt, he took off his shirt and put it on to Randy. And that's why Randy was wearing a shirt that said Ernest. He was wearing his killer shirt all along.
So how did the family find out about this, though? Like, do they have to investigate?
Well, the house kept getting... People would move in. The ghosts would spook them. They would leave. So these family bought it. And then the boy went upstairs, found a bunch of boxes. Was like, "Oh, hey, look, here's a file. You know who this is?" They're like, "No." And they're like, so his neighbor, this girl, his neighbor female friend, is like somehow a hacker. He meets her at the library, and she's like, "Here, let me take this. Yep, Ernest used to live in your house. Oh, wait. Dead end." And then walks away. And then she comes back, she's like, "Oh, you're gonna want to see this." Comes back with like a folder or something of a bar. And they're like, "Yeah, Ernest used to work at this bar, though." And like, the reason we didn't find death certificates is because Ernest isn't dead. He's actually living somewhere else. And they're like, "So then who's our Ernest?" And so they go to the bar, find a picture of their Ernest with another old man. So they go to the old man's house after being chased by the cops because the CIA are involved. And so they made the parents say that they were kidnapped by the ghost. The CIA told the parents that they have to say that their children were kidnapped by the ghost. To get permission.
Where did it take them?
It didn't take them nowhere.
I know,
the kids took
but
the ghost.
like, think logically for a second about that. That's not a good cover. Where could it have taken them?
Well, after seeing the ghost shoot a hand out of its mouth and choke somebody on TV, I'm sure they're afraid that this thing is a poltergeist more than a ghost.
Fly up with them? Just up in the air? Up and to the side?
So they drive their stolen brother's car now, and they drive it to the old man's house, and he starts questioning them, and he's like, "Yeah, we're just trying to figure out what happened to the man." You know, like,
"Oh, he was murdered."
He lied. The old man lied. He said, "Yeah, we used to be good friends. Our wives were sisters." He didn't say it word for word, by the way. This is just spitballing off the top of my head. He was like, "Yeah, our wives were sisters." He's like, he was a good man. But everything, he suddenly changed after his wife died. One day he's like, "Me and my wife, we never cared for kids. We were going to travel and everything." He's like, and one day he came over, asked if we could watch his daughter, and he never came back. And that was the last anybody's ever seen of him. And the kid's like, "What do you think happened?" He's like, "I guess he drunk himself away. Poor guy."
Poor guy.
Then the CIA came swatting down the house with their little beam guns, and they shot Randy. They all call him Ernest throughout the whole movie, though, so his new name is Ernest. Randy's in the past. Randy is his human form. Ernest is his ghost form. So they beam him down with these magic beamy guns.
Yeah. Oh, they didn't just tase him or something?
They practically tased him.
But it was like
They put night vision on so they could see his beam, and then they hit him with these beam guns, and he's like, "Oh!"
That's stupid. Why not just like beam gun?
It's like a giant rail gun, and they. And he's like, ah! Every time he got shot with it, he couldn't move. So, CIA material weapons can take on ghosts.
I think the Ghostbusters.
Kind of. Except for the CIA decided they could do whatever they want to the ghost since he's already dead.
That is true. You're dead. You don't have any rights.
That's literally what he said. Because the ghost lady that caught him was like, "So what are you gonna do with him?" He's like, "Well, he's already dead. So whatever the hell we want." And then walked away. And kept the ghost contained in a cage. But the lady eventually freed Ernest. Why? It wasn't said. She just felt the connection with the ghost, I guess, and was like, "You know what? You're a good man. Get out of here, buddy."
Good ghost.
Freed the ghost. So he went back, and then we cut to the family in the house without a ghost. And the door's open. The back door's open, so he's like, "Ernest?" And then the boy closes the door, and he turns around, and there's an old man sitting at his table with a gun. Plot twist, it's the old man from before. I never would have seen it coming. And so he's like, "You know too much." And he's like, "I don't know anything." He's like, "Yes, you did. That's why you came to question me. Because you knew about it." And he's like, "What? No. I came to figure out what happened to the man. I didn't know what happened to the man." He's like, "No, you knew too much." And then he put him at gunpoint while the dad came downstairs. And then the dad tackled him. And then the kids ran out of the... Okay, so the dad was going downstairs because him and the mom woke up. The brother came out, and the dad had a bat. The other son had like one of those like pull things at the gym because he has weights in his room. He's a lifter, so he had that. So they went downstairs in the kitchen, getting ready to beat up somebody that just broke into their house. Which, not a smart move, bro. If they got a gun, what are you gonna do?
Throw a knife at him. Get shot.
Well, they weren't originally gonna go to the kitchen. They were just looking for the noise.
Make noise.
So they get to the kitchen. They set their weapons down, and then there's like a shout of thunder that startles the old man. So the young boy breaks free, and then the dad charges him. The two kids run to go get their mom, and then old man grabs a frying pan and bashes the dad a couple times in the head.
Jesus.
Picks up his gun, starts walking. Then the brother tackles the old man to let the little brother go get the mom, and then he pushes him down the basement stairs, and the old man walks away with a gun. And then the youngest locks the mom into another room and runs upstairs and is followed by the man with the gun. And then he's hiding in the attic, and the old man's walking around. He has a crowbar in his hands, the young boy. And the old man grabs his teddy bear and he starts talking like as if nobody's there. And as he goes to swing, the old man turns around and grabs his arm, punches him. And then he has the gun still, and the little boy smacks the gun out of his hand, so he pushes him on the ground. And he goes to beat him with the crowbar. And then Ernest saves the day and grabs his hand. And he thought he was going to push him out the window. But no, he just punches him in the face and knocks him out. And I'm like, oh. So you're going to let him be turned into the police? I guess I thought you'd want revenge and kill him since he killed you, but okay.
But then he would be hunting. Be a ghost. And then they'd just have ghost fights.
They'd,
Damn it, they're fucking up the house again.
And so then the dad and the brother come upstairs like, Kevin, which is the one son's name.
Kevin
He's like,
McAllister?
no, they're black. So, by the way, the Falcon is the dad.
That's so funny.
At least I'm pretty sure it's the Falcon.
Anthony Mackie.
I don't know what that name is. Looks like the Spies in Disguise character. Like
Yeah.
weird little circular head.
His pigeon face.
Yeah.
Even when he's a regular man, he has a pigeon face.
I think that's the same guy.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so he looks at the ghost, and then he starts charging at the ghost, and the son's like, no, Dad! And then we see the old man is getting up, and so he shoulders the old man out the window, and he dies.
Damn.
Now, I was thinking the dad was going to fall out the window with him, but no. He just, boots him out the window. And then I was also thinking, I was like, well, there's another unrealistic thing. Black man kills a white man. They're all going to jail for that. No way the CIA is going to be, oh, you did a good job freeing this ghost. Which they never said why they killed the old man. They never said what happened to the ghost. And I guess he had a gun, but...
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess it could be assumed that he broke into their house and...
But I don't think they lived in one of those states where you can kill if somebody's in your house.
Damn.
And though it's self-defense, I mean, they could have just knocked him out. Didn't have to shove him out of a window.
Well, it wouldn't have made any difference if the ghost did it. It still would have been blamed on the family.
Absolutely, but the ghost wasn't going to kill him. He was just going to let him get, taken to jail.
Yeah.
The ghost was going to do the right thing. Dad had different intentions. He said, get out of my house.
Black at heart.
And yeah, the CIA questioned the kid, asking what happened to the ghost. He said, just vanished.
What?
Then we cut to the truth of what happened, and Ernest got to see his daughter that was taken away from him as a ghost. Which again, I was like, no, you will not have seen your dad as you remembered him. He would be a shadowy, gloomy, cloudy figure, just staring there, looking spooky and scary. Nothing you want to walk up to and touch. But you do you. And then I was thinking, I can make this movie way better. If I had the skills, of course.
Right.
I was like, I know what this would make it really better. Make it a real ghost and make it true. Make the family get in trouble for killing this old man, because that's what would really happen. Make them fight their case. And then let the internet, paparazzi, fend for them. Because that's what they do best. And then the movie would be realistic. Just a few details to make the whole movie real.
Right, have a ghost kill a person, and then blame it on a family.
You can still have the dad kill the person, I don't care. I'm just saying make it like, well, you didn't have to kill him, and then boom, they're all locked up now. And then let the internet
the kids.
paparazzi. Well, the kids would probably just go to juvenile homes.
Not an orphanage? Why would they go to juvie or something?
They're part of it.
That's messed up.
I don't know, the one cop seemed kind of racist. He walked into the convenience store. He's like, what's up, ghost kid? He's like, put your hand above your head. You're under arrest.
So say, like, your landlady went nuts one day and came up here and shot your neighbor, right? Her kids getting in trouble for that too?
They're white.
Oh, so you're saying they just get in trouble because they're black?
Absolutely. Racism still exists. And I don't want anybody's going to be pointing fingers. And I feel like they're all going to play that one card where they're like, no, I did it. And they know I did it. And they're going to be like, well,
I'm
you're
sorry,
all
kids.
arrested. But yeah, otherwise it was a good movie. It was alright. There was one part where the ghost was trying to get back to their house because he finally remembered who killed them after seeing an owl pin on one of the CIA guards' pads. He had like an owl badge. And he remembered he was killed by an owl statue.
What did you do? Push it on them?
No, that's what he killed him with. When his child was getting taken upstairs, Ernest walked behind him and went right in the back of the head with an owl statue. So I'm assuming the beak penetrated his skull. So he's like, oh, that's how I died. So he starts running through the walls. He sees the lift, he goes, raw! Scares the drunk girls that were going to get into the lift. And then he hops in the back seat and the girl's like, Ernest, what's up, man? And the girl's like, but this is my lift. She's like, it's a lift, and says the B word and then drives off with Ernest. It's like, where you gotta go, man? He goes,
It's so stupid.
He's famous.
Yeah, he's using star power, but like, what a lame ghost. He has to run. He can't fly, levitate even.
I don't know. He never did. He just ran through walls. Which got me thinking, when he was in the attic and he ran through the wall, did he just...
Right, how does he control the bottom of his feet?
Because he can go through the floor. Because he was upstairs and he went poof, and went right through the floor. And then floated up only his head, not his whole body. So clearly he can float. But he still ran through the walls. And then got into a lift.
So he's just stupid.
Because he can grab onto objects. So I'm assuming he grabbed into the car for the speed.
Yeah.
That he does not have as a ghost. Because it's also apparent he can't just teleport. Like, he can't just disappear and then reappear. Because he jumped out of a car to get into a police car when they were in a police chase, and he just took the police's wheel and steered it. Luckily, the cop didn't die. They went into a dress shop and crashed the car, and then he got out of the car, and he just waited for the boy to turn around and come pick him back up. Then they got back in the car, and then they drove. And then a cop should have died. The other cop that I said was racist should have died because it was a semi-truck. And the kids, I thought they were going to make it through classic movie style, but no, they actually got hit. They got hit in the back, though, and did a spin out, which they should have been knocked unconscious from that.
Yeah.
No, they should have. They should not just be like, whoa, hey, we're fine. Because that's what happened. Okay, whatever, I guess. It's a movie. They're children. They can't die. But the cop went straight into the semi. And the entire top of the roof was dented. And then we cut to him running after them. I'm like, no, your limb should be smashed.
Maybe he's a Terminator.
He has to be, because he's just, hey, get back here. He's like, oh, they got away. He didn't.
Power racism.
But I'm like, bro, there's no way you survive that. Absolutely not. But it's a... Can't even say it's a kid's movie, bro, because it was on Netflix.
What's it called?
We Have a Ghost.
We Have a Ghost. I'm gonna look up the trailer. I'm interested.
It's an interesting movie, I'm just saying. Like, it could be better if the ghost is a little bit more terrifying.
Well, the point was probably for it not to be scary. And that's why the kid wasn't scared of it, because it's not scary.
But I'm just thinking, like, there's plenty of people that aren't scared of ghosts. The real ghosts, the ones that are terrifying.
Yeah.
Like, if I ever seen a shadowy, gloomy figure in the middle of the night staring in my corner, just... I'd be terrified.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But if I found out it's friendly, eventually I would adjust. Eventually. Not right away. Not within 10 minutes. Not within a week. Probably not within a month. But after seeing it just staring at me, I'd still be terrified. But if it confronted me as a friendly ghost, I'd be like, okay, this is going to get some getting used to. I don't want to open my eyes in the middle of the night and see you. So please keep your distance. I'm like, if you want the room, let me know and I'll sleep on the couch.
If you get hungry, I can bring you some snacks.
You can't eat them, but I'm sorry. But yeah, it was a good movie. We Have a Ghost. I forgot what other movies I watched. There's like 3. Oh, there was this movie called Made for Each Other. And it was this girl who was so picky with finding the one that she never dated anybody. And she made this clay statue of a guy. And she called it The Perfect Man.
Oh, and did it come to life?
No, her friend actually gave her a necklace. She's like, yeah, this necklace is what they used back in the day to make their statues fight for them. It's like, they're called golems. If you put this around their neck, they will come alive to serve your very purpose. And so she puts it around his neck jokingly, and then she wakes up the next day, and he's just walking around with the towel on that she left for the mannequin. And she's like, whoa, you're real. And then she finds out eventually through the movie that she doesn't want the perfect man. She wants somebody with flaws. But then her friend's like, well, you can't tell him that, because once he figures out his purpose is done, he'll just go back to being a clay statue.
What's wrong with that?
She doesn't want him to die. So she's like, I give you new purpose.
Be my friend.
No. Do what makes you happy. Because he wants to be a chef. But her parents want him to become a lawyer.
Wait, so her parents just treat it like another kid? They keep it?
No.
What?
He's an adult. Like, he's a life-size adult.
Yeah.
She's an adult.
Oh.
Yeah, she's like, I don't know, probably in her 30s. Or late, mid-20s. And her parents are trying to get her to get married because her younger sister's getting married before her.
Oh, I see. So they probably don't know that it was a clay statue.
Nobody knew,
Okay.
except for the friend.
Yeah.
So
they just think it's a regular guy.
And he's also he's about to take it off in front of a bunch of people. At an
An
art exhibit. She was like, he's like, well, I guess my purpose is done. She's like, no.
It's so funny, dude. At an art exhibit?
I know, imagine that. You just see... You see a clay man in a suit with a pendulum. But no, she's like, I give you a new purpose. Because he wanted to become a cook. But her parents were like, no, you got to become a lawyer if you want to marry her. And he's like, well, okay then, I'll become a lawyer. And so she told him, no, become a chef. Go do what makes you happy. He's like, well, all right. So I wonder what happens when he becomes a chef.
That person physically cannot get a job.
They
They
do
do
not
not have a social security number. They do not have an identity.
But he got a modeling gig. He got a modeling gig. And he is able to get food, get money.
No birth certificate required for anything?
He even got to be a chef. He was put on a magazine cover.
I guess if you're hot enough.
Which doesn't make sense. He technically should have taken it off. He did his purpose. He became a chef like he wanted. So he should have just died right then and there. But nope. I guess he gets to live happily ever after. Quite literally. He's gonna live forever. He's not gonna age. He's Clay.
He's gonna get to be a chef.
Which his name was literally Clay. Alright, guys. Long episode. So we're gonna cut it short. Not cut it short, actually. That'd be a lie. We're gonna cut it long.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense. But this has been my co-host, Sam.
This has been my co-host, David.
And as always, we're a couple of dudes.
See you next
Week.